The Blast from Our Past Network.
Lock your doors, close your windows, turn out your lights, for chills and thrills await you. It's time for Podcasting After Dark with your hosts, Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer. Stay with a friend, say your prayers as grisly ghouls close in to seal your doom, and enjoy this bonus episode of Podcasting After Dark.
Hey everybody, co-host Corey here, flying solo tonight on a bonus movie review. I'm covering Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 3, Better Watch Out. Came out in 1998, and I know that we mentioned last year possibly covering the rest of the series because we covered Part 1 and Part 2, and you know how much we love both of those movies. And as you know right now, this month is pretty much dedicated to The Toxic Avenger because it was kind of the only month that we sort of had open that we could sort of do The Toxic Avenger on, and we, haven't, not really covering a lot of Christmassy stuff. So I figured it'd be a perfect time to kind of maybe watch the Silent Night, Deadly Nights, 3, possibly 4, maybe 5, 3, 4, and 5. Might cover them all. But I definitely watched Part 3, watched it last night. So in the mood for something new, something Christmassy, something slashery. And I'm here to tell you guys, it's a stinker. I'm sure a lot of you all know that. I know I've seen Part 5, the one with the toy maker. I saw that as a kid. And this one, though, I've seen images of it because, Bill Moseley with his brain showing is very, it's almost iconic at this point from the 80s, like horror, imagery. But I'd never actually seen this movie before. So Bill Moseley is playing Ricky, who, is our protagonist / antagonist, I guess, from Part 2, the younger brother of Billy from Part 1. And in this movie, he's brought back to life, after being killed at the end of Part 2, brought back to life in order for them to study coma victims. I don't know why they couldn't have just found a coma victim to study. But on top of that, to see if somebody with psychic abilities could interact with said coma victim. So you have Samantha Scully playing Laura, who is this blind girl who has psychic abilities, and they're using her to connect with Ricky, played by Bill Moseley. And it kind of does create this psychic connection, and it causes Ricky to track down Laura and her brother Chris and his girlfriend Jerry at their grandmother's house up in northern, Simi Valley, California type of thing, like Moore Park area. And that's pretty much it. The movie's an hour and 29 minutes, and it's a fucking slog. Honestly, as I was watching it, I thought it was a made-for-TV movie until there was nudity in it. I was like, oh, okay, so this is not, I know it's straight to video, but I was like, man, this thing feels like a made-for-TV movie. The best part of the movie is probably the nudity. Laura Harring is the one you see, and she's probably the best part of the film. Except when there is nudity with her, it also is with Chris, the brother, who played by Eric DeRay. Dude looks like a Sasquatch. Dude is hairy as hell, and he got this long, curly hair. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. But then, on top of it, you got Robert Culp as, from The Greatest American Hero and I Spy and everything, playing this detective that is, sort of trying to track down Ricky. And it's so, there's nothing to it. It's madness. It's wild. The whole, I can't even, guys and gals, I'm so glad we didn't cover this on the show because there's literally nothing to talk about. And to top it all off, our main character, Laura, the person, we're supposed to connect with, the person we're supposed to, be following, the main protagonist, she is a grade A bitch to her brother and his new girlfriend. Actually, she's nice to her brother. And it's weird. There's some weird sexual tension at one scene with her brother. Sasquatch, man. It's wild, guys. But she's a grade A bitch to her brother's girlfriend, Jerry. right from the get-go. For no reason whatsoever. And Jerry's like super sweet to her, like Jerry's like totally cool. So you got this wild cast. Samantha Scully as Laura. She was in Best of the Best, same year, 1989. I think she was like just at the bar or something. I even was talking to Zach. I was like, do you know who she is in Best of the Best? He's like, I think she's just a side character at the bar. Bill Moseley, probably the best part of it. I mean, for what he can do, he's literally shuffling around, barely walking, yet he's still somehow killing people. With his brain exposed, which is probably the kind of the best part of the movie, is the way his brain is on top of his head in a jar with like liquid in there, like blood or whatever, brain liquid. It's kind of sloshing around a little bit. Looks really good. That actually looks fantastic. Though I don't buy for 1 second, that he's Ricky. Like I can't buy that like at all. He doesn't look like Eric Freeman at all. It's a hard sell for me to even think that he's Ricky. But, that's what the movie wants us to believe. And, they basically want us to believe that they pieced his brain back together in order not to study what's wrong with him. Like, we want to know why he kills. It was more like we can study just coma patients and to see if people with psychic abilities can like reconnect to said coma patient. It's like, well, then why didn't you just use any coma patient, And he's woken up in from his coma, however many years it is. He's woken up from it by a drunkard dressed like Santa Claus. And he kills that guy in his room and everything. But the weird thing is he doesn't steal his Santa outfit. Like he could have, and he doesn't. So he kind of shambles around in his gown, and then later just gets some normal clothes from some poor bastard that picks him up hitchhiking on the side of like the 101 freeway or the 5. But he's in his office gown, or he's in his freaking hospital gown with the jar on his head, and the guy still picks him up. And then Ricky kills that guy. It's like, come on, man. Like, really? He kills like all these people that kind of like don't really deserve it. There's like no reason for him to kill these people. And then he's trying to kill Laura. He kills Jerry. He kills Laura's brother twice even. And the final confrontation like happens in the basement of their grandparents' house, Laura and her brother's grandparents' house. And, she's like, she turns off the lights down there. She smashes the light on the ceiling. She's like, now you're in my world. It's still just as lit as it was before. It's wild. It looks like it was shot for like I said, TV. And she somehow kills Ricky, like sort of lets him fall on a piece of sharp instrument. And that's it. Robert Culp, he has like no sense of urgency about him trying to, track down this killer. He keeps selling this doctor he's working with, Dr. Newbury, who's kind of conducting the experiment. He keeps trying to sell him on getting a car phone. This is 1989, so of course those are new. But he keeps part of his character is that he's trying to sell this doctor on buying a car phone. And he's like, well, I get $100 taken off my like monthly bill, for every new customer I bring in. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, like this is what you're working with, like as an actor, like this is what you're doing. And he's doing his best, to bring some sort of life into this film. Laura, Samantha Scully, is bringing no life into it. All she does is scream or just like sort of stare ahead. Bill Moseley is doing whatever the hell he can do, but he's completely constrained by this fact that his character Ricky is like awoken as a vegetable, so he's like shuffling around almost like a zombie, which is funny because next year he'd go off and work on Night of the Living Dead remake as Barbara's brother. This movie has no life to it whatsoever. It's a slog at an hour and 29 minutes. It felt like at least 2 hours. And I'm trying to enjoy what I can from it, which is pretty much Laura Harring. I very much enjoy any time she was on screen. And then just Eric DeRee's like just Sasquatch hair persona just had me just mesmerized for a little bit, but it wasn't enough to kind of push the movie forward for me. Or to make it like a yearly classic. And then on top of it, I mean, the fact that it's shot like in Simi Valley, like out in the desert. It just doesn't feel like Christmas at all. You know, for me, Christmas in California never really felt like Christmas to begin with. And this is like out there in the desert where all like the orchards are, the the orange orchards and everything, like out where all the farms are and everything. It just doubly doesn't feel like Christmas to me. I mean, if this movie took place dead of summer, I would have believed you. You know, there was barely any like set dressing anywhere to show off that it was, you know, Christmas time. And I know this movie was rushed and everything, rushed into production, and I think they threw away the first script and whatnot. But you know, it's no excuse really, and you know, there's almost no point to it. We're not like, as a viewer, we're not learning anything about Ricky through it. You know, any glimpses we get into his past from Laura, like from her psychic, you know, dives into his mind, are just scenes from the first movie, from the first Silent Night, Deadly Night, not even from the second one, you know, and he's Bill Moseley's playing Ricky. So, you know, they don't even show any scenes from the second one. Maybe because Eric Freeman looks so different than Bill Moseley, you know, maybe it's like, no, we'll just kind of show him, you know, the kid version of him in Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1. There's just no reason for me to ever watch this movie again outside of Laura Harring and just the shocking hairiness of Eric DeRee. Now, I have heard from people online that this is the worst of the bunch and that parts 4 and 5 are infinitely better, especially since Brian Usna directed part 4. So I'm going to push forward. I'm going to watch part 4, maybe tonight. We'll see. You know, if it, you know, once I do, I'll drop a bonus review of my thoughts on that one as well. I'm also planning on watching the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. It comes out by the time I'm recording, it comes out this weekend. Hopefully I'll see it this weekend. If not, I'll see it early next week and then drop a mini review of that. I'm really trying to get into the Christmas spirit this year. I'm having a hard time. My wife and I both agree it's kind of been a little difficult to get into the Christmas mood this year. So I'm kind of trying to kickstart that. And sadly, this was my first attempt this year. Like, I haven't watched a lot of my regular go-tos yet, and we're like sort of almost halfway through the month. And this was like my kickstart. I was like, okay, I'm excited to watch something I've never seen before. Silent Night, Deadly Night, one of my favorite, you know, slashers. The first one, not only is it one of my favorite Christmas slashers, it's one of my favorite slashers. I love that movie to death. And this just was just such a letdown. Part 3 is such a letdown, such a wet fart. But again, I have heard parts 4 and 5 are better, and I have seen part 5. I remember it being pretty wild. I was a kid when I saw part 5. I haven't seen it since the Toy Maker one. So with, was it a little Mickey Rooney or whatever was the Toy Maker. So, you know, I do have the Vestron Blu-ray set, so hopefully I'll watch part 5 tonight and then cut a mini review of that one maybe tomorrow or something. So, but yeah, I'm glad we didn't cover this one on the show. Glad we didn't cover part 3 on Podcasting After Dark, because man, it's just, there's not much there to even talk about. There's a whole lot of nothing happening in this movie, and it's wild. I don't even want to say it's wild, because it's just a negative space, just an empty, hollow space of nothing, and it's sad because I think it could have had things going for it, but it really, 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 really doesn't. So anyways, hope y'all enjoy this little mini review, and make sure you check us out on Patreon and everything like that. Check us out on Instagram, and you know the routine. Hope everybody's having a festive December. You know, no matter what you celebrate, I hope the holidays are good for everybody. And I hope y'all are enjoying our month of Toxic Avenger, you know, on the proper show and everything. We're going to cover the remake with the boys at Talking Back by the end of the month. And we have an interview with Jennifer Aspinall out there. So I hope y'all enjoy those. And I hope you enjoy the review of the original Toxic Avenger. So, all right, guys and gals, ho, ho, ho. We'll catch you on the dark side.
Be sure to subscribe to Podcasting After Dark on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can support the show by joining our Patreon page, picking up a t-shirt from our merch store, or leaving us a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at Podcasting After Dark. All links can be found on our website at www.podcastingafterdark.com. And join us next time for another cult movie or TV show review with Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer.